YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Wathcer Realms. We're back with another one. This is going to be the Piercer edition for Season 7 Guild v Guild. So first and foremost, we have a very interesting map. However, as we kind of discussed, there's a lot of tiles that are very susceptible to either archers, this tile in particular, or garnet guards. These tiles in particular are a little bit susceptible. So here's how we're going to go ahead and build the team. Brokir, Yovar. If you don't have Yovar, I'll go ahead and set up an Araka team in a second. We go ahead and put Silas down this line. Then we put Pelagios right here. And then Lily here. If you want to go ahead and swap Pelagios and Silas, that's more than fine. The only difference is that you're not getting the ability to utilize Pelagios' range all the way. So if you did like this, here we go. And then also, right, we're really hitting this tile right here, based off of the additional range that you get from Yovar being the Lord. And then Pelagios, he will hit this tile as well, but you're missing out on a substantial amount of damage that you can kind of front load and make it easier for Silas. The benefit of this placement, however, is that Pelagios has the ability to ult this particular tile, which might bring the units back into the vortex back to Brokir. So placement is entirely up to you, at least in my personal opinion, on this one. So this is team number 1, right? Now let's go ahead and kind of change this up a little bit and include Araka for this team. So we got rid of Silas, or not Silas, Yovar, and we go over here, grab Araka. It looks a little bit different. So Araka in this team is going to primarily function as a catch-all, right? You want her to be in this particular position to tank up the units, and so that Silas, ideally, can still hit them and take them out. So honestly, putting her in something like her Arachno Shroud is helpful. Key of the Forsaken is helpful because she is a fighter. Even the Lunacy Visor, even though I don't think that's super recommended, gives her additional block, can be used to make her tankier. With Araka, you do get a little bit more flexibility in the team comp, however, and we can go ahead and build it like so. So first and foremost, Lily will get an additional piece of range with Yovar or Araka being the Lord. So you also can go ahead and do a placement such as this. Let's go ahead and set this up. So right now, with Araka as Lord, Lily will actually go ahead and heal Brokir. You can put Pelagios up front, and then you can put Silas up second, right? So Pelagios will hit these tiles, and then Silas will kind of click in and start hitting these tiles down the line. So that's another team setup that you can do. One of the main downfalls to this team might be baiting Silas ult, and then also Pelagios ult. But Araka should provide you with enough CC with this tile to kind of stem the bleeding and help you take out some of those swarm teams as they go ahead and develop. Now, if we were to go ahead and swap this for Yovar, once again, right? A lot of swapping when it comes to the Piercer faction, because you get a lot of flexibility because of that additional range, right? One of the main pitfalls originally for this map is that your healers actually had to be in this tile if they were placed on this map. So let's go ahead and set this up here, because this will function a little bit differently, right? So first and foremost, we will go ahead and put Pelagios here. We'll put Silas here. Put Brokir here. Here we go. So this is going to be team number 2. Now, mind you, one of the issues with this team, and I'll just kind of start it like right off the bat, this team will be susceptible to archers hitting Yovar immediately, right? So Lily will proc her passive, and sometimes depending on how quickly the opponent places the archers, Yovar might actually fully die even with Lily passive and Lily healing him, right? So it just depends. It's a little bit of a risky game. I personally think if you're using this setup, it is much better to use Araka over Yovar. Yovar kind of just takes up too much of the platform units, and you kind of need you need Lily passive, right? You don't want to go ahead and have your Brokir get axes and then the tank busters, and then all of a sudden Brokir is dead because Lily didn't have her passive, right? So that's the tower setup. Next one is going to be the keep setup, which is a little bit different, right? So you kind of create a firing squad when it comes to the keep setup, which is kind of nice, right? So once again, the units are going to travel down this pathway, right? And here is how the team is supposed to work. The second the units get here, which is far out of Garnet Guard range, right? Yovar will go ahead and ult. You need Yovar to be very, very, very like max damage as possible if you want to go and take out one of the Garnet Guards. If you fail to take out one of the Garden Guards, that's okay, that's fine, because Lily is right here to basically serve as your insurance policy to keep Yovar alive long enough for both Pelagios and Silas to go ahead and take out those units. Now, one of the things that might be a little bit tricky is we're going to go ahead and test this to see if Silas can be hit by archers based off of this cross map. It might be possible, but we'll just have to go and like see, right? So let's set this up. And if that is the case, if Silas is susceptible to getting sniped, we would just go ahead and swap Pelagios and Silas here for Lily and cover this lane. All right, so let's go ahead and hop into the actual testing of the team comps, see if they work. I believe both are built. So 1 second. All right, so let's go ahead and do some testing. This is going to be the Araka team, at least placement 2, right? All the way down towards the crystal. I personally don't like this one as much because there's a very easy way to consistently beat it. So let me just go ahead and show you. Yes, I know Araka is not skilled all the way up and she's not fully promoted. However, the concept in practice still works regardless of those things, right? So let's just go ahead and run it down. Wait for the 10 cost. Drop the second tank. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop these 2 tanks, right? Back to back. Now, oop, I almost messed that up. I messed it up, but it's not that big of a deal. It should still work. And then once we get to 10 costs, especially, it has to be 10 costs, we drop double dogs, and they should easily kind of run through here. Let's go ahead and super slow this. Wait for that clock. Ghost drop these. There we go. And watch. They easily make it through. Right? Pretty consistently. And even if they didn't, the tanks didn't go through, what would happen is the dogs would take care of Araka and then go through, right? So the Araka team is not going to be super viable in terms of survivability unless you have a very, very strong Silas, or if you're dropping like a Sargak, perhaps might be of assistance just so you can pump out as much damage as possible. I do have Sargak on my main account, right? But it's a little bit too easy to kind of waltz through. Let's go ahead and set up the Yovar team now on my phone here and see how that team performs. And then also let me swap over Silas's artifact. That'll help us out as well for this testing. 2, there we go. And then let's put Silas here. Awesome. So we have that set up. Let's update the gear. Let's swap Silas's artifact as well, because Eye of Penitence is good, but Spirit Siphon's better for Guild. All right, there we go. So we have everything set up now on the main account. Let's go ahead and update the gear, and then we'll run it down. There we go. All right, new team, right? So let's go ahead and run the Garnet Guard test, and then we're going to run the double tank and run it down test. All right, so Garnet Guard test number 1. Drop 1, 2. They should go ahead and target Pelagios first, I believe. It's Silas first. There we go. So that's interesting. It's this order, this, then this. So let's go ahead and try bait it first and foremost with the tanks then. Let's go ahead and bait with 1 tank. And then we're going to wait for Silas's ult to kind of complete itself. And then we're going to run it down. Alright, and perfect timing. Drop Garnet 1, Garnet 2. They don't even get a chance to do anything. Alright, let's go ahead and do the tank test next, which is going to be tank 1. 1. Let's get to 8 cost. Super slow this. Tank 1, tank 2. See how well they fare. All units are now in the danger zone. And they're getting Brokir juggled. Next up is we're going to drop the dogs. And 2 dogs successfully get through. Interesting. Let's double test that with the normal setup now, which is going to be tank 1. And then next step is tank 2. Let me not do that right now. Let's give this a second. Alright, tank 2. Then double tank it. Now. Bit delayed, but it's because I can't click to save my life. And then dogs. And it fails. So yeah, overall, based on the testing, and this is also on my alt account, which isn't even close to my main in terms of damage output, BP wise, I do think that piercers are generally weak for this map. And I say that primarily speaking for the, what's it called? Let's go ahead and update the keep. Primarily for towers are weak. Let's update the keep really quickly here. Update gear. All right. So the keep is now updated. Let's test it and see how it performs. All these pop-ups, geez. There we go. For some reason, it does not want to update the keep. Let's redo this. Let's save it. Maybe that's the key, right? Maybe I have to go ahead and save it. Then update gear. All right, let's try this again. There we go. All right, let's run it down. Let's do the Garnet Guard test, and then let's run with the double tank test. All right, so we go ahead and do double Garnets first. Well, let's bait with healer. The reason why I say bait with healer is because I want to kind of prop this up to where there's no ults. All right. The second the healer gets here, it should get hit. And it does. And it successfully based the Silent Soul, which is perfect. That's what we wanted. Awesome. And let's see here. Garnet should go and target Yovar now. The firing squad did its job. That's exactly what we wanted. Alright, so we drop tank 1. Wait for 10 cost. Drop tank 2. Even though realistically speaking, this might proc Silas's ult. So let's give this a second. Perfect. Silas all triggered. Let's wait for the 8 cost. Drop double tanks right about now. Let's give it some space. There we go. And then we're going to wait for 10 cost and then drop double dogs. Perfect. Tanking decently well. Pelagios kind of mess up their pathing horrendously. All right. Ghost drop this. I kind of liked how that worked. Kind of liked it. All right, let's go ahead and just do this another way. If I drop tank. Actually, let's do this. We're going to drop healer. And then we're going to go ahead and drop the tanks, healer, dogs. To see if that makes any difference. And that'll be kind of like the final test. Because if it all survives, then it works, right? At least to some degree. Do I think this is going to be super meta relevant compared to the other teams that exist? No. And I don't want that to be your expectation. But if it works a little bit, that's a great sign. In case like you actually don't have the meta comps, then let's go ahead and set this up. Tank 1, tank 2. All right, next step is we're going to drop a healer. All right, Pelagios should ult any second now. And the job is for them to kind of survive long enough. They fail. Wait, did they fail? Yep, they fail. So yeah, the Piercer firing squad seems to kind of work. I like how it performs a decent amount. Stronger Garnet guards might wipe out the Yovar, but then again, Lily should survive, or keep him alive, right? So overall, Piercers, I would say like a B+. They survive, right? They have some functionality. Anyways, see ya.